Dr. Seuss and the Cat in the Hat. Let's get to know the man who wrote the book The Cat in the Hat. Meet Dr. Seuss. There he is. Dr. Seuss was born on March 2nd, 1904. His parents didn't name him Dr. Seuss. They named him Theodore Seuss Geisel. People called him Ted. Here's Ted's dad, Ted's sister Marnie, and Ted. Ted was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's right here in the United States. Here's a picture of Ted's friend, Marnie and Ted. Here is Ted with his sister and his friend when he was in college. As Ted grew up, he liked to draw and write. In college, Ted drew cartoons. Sometimes he wrote his middle name, Seuss, on his work. He later added Doctor to make himself sound important. Dr. Seuss drew this cartoon when he was in college. Over the years, Ted wrote books for kids. One year, a man from a book company asked Ted to write a new story for kids. He gave Ted a short list of words. Ted could use only those words to write the book. Ted wrote stories on a machine called a typewriter. His wife, Helen, helped him write. They didn't have computers back when Ted started writing. But what would the story be about? He picked 2 words from the list. They were cat and hat. He decided to write about that. Ted had drawn many cats before, but this one would be a funny cat that would wear a tall red and white hat. There it is. Ted's story became The Cat in the Hat. Kids loved it. They loved the cat's silly tricks. They loved that they could read it all by themselves. They went with their parents to get the book at the bookstore and the library. Dr. Seuss wrote many books after The Cat in the Hat. People still love to read them. In fact, schools set aside time on his birthday every year just so kids can read his books. Which ones have you read? Here are some examples. Dr. Seuss Timeline. Here are some important dates in the life of Dr. Seuss. In 1937, Dr. Seuss writes his first book. In 1957, Dr. Seuss writes The Cat in the Hat. On September 24th, 1991, Dr. Seuss dies. And remember earlier it told us when he was born. Down here on the bottom it says Dr. Seuss wrote Green Eggs and Ham in 1960. Put an X on that year in the timeline, and you can see there's a dot here on 1960. That's when he wrote Green Eggs and Ham.